Hi, in previous video we were discussing about marine as well as the noise pollution. What are the different types, causes, effects and control of both the pollution we were discussing in the last video. In the current video we are going to discuss about the solid waste management. What are the content we are going to discuss in this solid waste management topic is what are the types of solid waste available in the environment, key principles, and what are the steps involved in solid waste management. What are the importance of effective solid waste management technologies and methodologies, challenges in solid waste management, and finally, we are going to discuss about the learning activities of the environmental pollution. Whatever the topic we had discussed, what are the learning activities need to be carried over for this particular subject or the course in this particular semester is being discussed in this particular video. Solid waste are the discarded material from residential areas, commercial area, from the industries and also from the agricultural sources. Solid waste management encompasses three different type of process. The first one is collection of the waste from the particular source, and second the treatment. Either treatment is done by chemical, physical or biological means. And finally, the disposal of solid waste should be done at proper location, and if it is not being used for any purposes, it may be dumped deep into the soil so that the harmful radiation from that particular waste can be prevented. The solid waste management aims to minimize the negative impact of waste on human health in the environment, as well as its further issues can be recovered by valuable resources from the waste streams. And from the waste, what we can do is we can separate the particles and it can be recycled and it can be reused. The major key aspects include the waste reduction. We need to reduce the waste material. We need to reuse the material. By recycling process, it can be converted into another form, and also responsible disposal. Finally, if some material is not being recycled, reused, or we can't decompose or degrade, that can be deposited or it can be disposed in a proper location so that the environmental pollution can be reduced. What are the different types of solid waste available in this environment is first the municipal waste. For example, the household waste such as food scraps, packaging material, plastic, paper and other material is being collected as a or considered as a municipal waste. And the medical waste from the hospital and the clinics, the waste such as syringes, cotton and other medical components can be considered as a medical waste. And the hazardous, the batteries, chemical and the medical waste are hazardous to the human as well as the environment. The e-waste, the old parts from the computer, TV and mobiles, we are considering it as an e-waste. And industrial waste such as the factory byproducts or the scrap material from the factory, and also the solid waste after the processing of some product which is being left over, that are considered industrial waste. And the agriculture waste such as animal waste, the cow dung and other material from the animals, and crop residues are considered to be the major type of solid waste. The key principles of solid waste management are the 4 R's. The first one, the reduction of waste generation, reducing unnecessary item usage, reusing the material and recycling. Here you can see the letters or number from 1 to 7, and you can think that it is a recycled product. It doesn't mean that recycling. The code 1 to 7, it determines what is the material used in that particular product for manufacturing purposes, and we need to reduce the source, and the segregation should be done properly. Either it is agriculture waste or medi waste or industrial waste, and also the plastic waste, it need to be segregated properly, either into the degradable, non-degradable or the hazardous material can be segregated properly, and if it need to be processed proper manner, as a result there will be reduction in the solid waste and it can be managed in a better way. What are the steps involved in the solid waste management are the collection and transportation. The regular pickup of the waste by the municipal services should move the particular waste from the source to the treatment area or to the disposal area. Second is the segregation. We need to separate the waste into biodegradable, recyclable and hazardous component. By segregation or the separation process is an important one for the solid waste management. The third one is treatment and processing. And the biodegradable components can be processed or treated by composting mechanism by using the microorganisms or by using the earthworm. If we use the earthworm for treatment and processing by the composting method is called as vermicompost, or by incineration. You can burn that waste material to convert into a fly ash and that can be used for making the bricks. And recycling or waste to energy. What we can do is when we are burning the waste material, we can generate the electricity that we call the thermal power, or by recycling mechanism we can convert the waste into an other energy processes, and it can be processed by either mechanical or by biological treatment process, we call it as MBT mechanism. And disposal. Finally, if you feel that that particular product or the waste, if it is not fit for any processing mechanism, finally we can dump at sanitary landfills, or we can incinerate, is otherwise called as burn, and other approved sites we can dump it so that the reduction of solid waste can be managed and harmful effect from the solid waste can be prevented. Why effective solid waste management should be done? There are lots of importance are there. We can prevent the spread of disease by controlling the pest and pathogen. We can prevent the environmental pollution, reduce the greenhouse gas emission, promote recycling and resource recovery, create the job opportunities for the recycling process as well as for the waste management. And if we do the waste to energy technologies, if it is being developed, and we can generate the revenues that can be used for development of the nation. What are all the challenges we face in the solid waste management is inadequate infrastructure in the urban area. First of all, the waste collection, transportation and dumping and all those processes are being not happening properly because of inadequate infrastructure. The poor public awareness about the segregation. The people we are not having a proper awareness that the degradable, the hazardous and non-degradable materials should be segregated from the home. Then only what we can do is, if it is segregated properly only, what we can do is we can dump in a proper area. And illegal dumping. And what happens is the septic tank waste and hazardous waste and the waste from the agriculture and from the industry, they are dumping near the water bodies or in the open area. If it is being dumped, it causes the pollution and health hazards to the public. And open burning, and if you burn those waste, it causes air pollution and it will cause a serious problem to the health of the human being. And limited recycling industries are in India, and if we develop the, or if we increase the recycling industries, we can reduce the problems which we face through the solid waste management. The health hazard to the waste workers and lack of knowledge to the waste workers, they are getting a infection or the lots of problem they are facing physically and mentally because of health hazards. And outdated infrastructure and financial and policy implementation barrier. The government need to allocate a more fund to segregate the solid waste and to manage them. As a result, what happens is we can make this environment friendly as well as we can free the environment from pollution. What are the learning activities can be done for environmental pollution or the waste segregation mechanism we can formulate, or project can be done. Pollution detection walk and air filter or dust collector can be done by your own, and water testing experiments can be done. Poster making and collage competition can be conducted. Role play by the students, model making to project how the waste can be segregated or how we can minimize the air, soil, noise and marine pollution. And composting project can be done on the solid waste management by either by using the microorganisms or vermicompost or other technologies can be derived for composting project. Interview and survey project can be done, and finally you can do interactive quizzes and puzzles for environmental pollution. We are coming to the end of this particular topic, that is environmental pollution. We have learned about the air, water, soil, marine, noise pollution and how the solid waste management can be done, and we had learned through 6 videos. And I would like to thank our management principal and the coordinator of the environmental studies for giving me an opportunity to create the videos for the student. Thank you all for patience listening.